Frugal February, the 28-day money reset that gives you back control. Welcome back to Sugar Mama's Fireplay, the podcast where we ignite your financial independence, fuel your early retirement goals and dreams, and help you build lasting wealth one mindful step at a time. I am your host, Canna Campbell. I'm a financial planner, an author, and someone who truly understands what it feels like to be really doing your best, trying your best in a world that feels increasingly expensive, demanding, and at times incredibly overwhelming. Now, today's episode, unfortunately, is not a start here episode, but I've got something even better for you. It's actually one of my, I don't know if I'll say favorites, but my love-hate favorites times of the year. And that's because it's all about Frugal February. And this year is extra special because it actually marks the 10 years of me running this financial challenge with the Sugar Mama community. So if you're feeling financially stressed and stretched right now, mentally tired, or just craving some clarity and comfort and control again when it comes to your money and your money management, this episode is perfect for you right now. Because Frugal February is not actually about deprivation, though it sounds like it with the word frugal, and it's not about punishment either, and it's never about shame. It's about simply pressing pause in our life and reconnecting with our values and reminding ourselves that we can actually feel confident and capable with money again, thanks to Frugal February. And the best part, we're all doing Frugal February together. All right, let's start with what Frugal February is really about, because this is, I think, really important. The title, Frugal, is a little bit misleading. It undervalues it. All right, so Frugal February is not about living on 2-minute noodles and rice and beans. It's not about saying no to everything that you enjoy. It's not about isolating yourself socially either, or making your life feel miserable for 28 days. What Frugal February is really about, it's a financial reset. A break from the unconscious spending that we all guilty of, especially after, Christmas and the Boxing Day sales. And it's a chance to reassess what really does add value to our lives and make us feel happy. And it's also a great way to sharpen our money skills for the rest of the year. And I often describe Frugal February as a bit of a financial fast, but it's with intention, compassion, and curiosity. And after Christmas, school holidays, which I don't know about you, has literally sent me broke with all the activities. Obviously, all the temptation that's come from the Boxing Day sales, some of which actually started before Boxing Day, and that end of year exhaustion. So many of us are spending on autopilot at the moment. I put my hand up here as well. And Frugal February is all about helping us slow that down and ask, is this actually worth it to me? Do I really value it? And having that powerful awareness, which we all know is life-changing. So why would you want to do Frugal February? Is it really worth doing? Well, I think so. And this is why I have so many people reach out to me going, are we doing it this year? And of course, the answer is yes. So here's why this challenge has really stood the test of time. 10 years is impressive. All right, number one, it gives you so much control back. When the cost of living pressure is high, people can feel very powerless. Frugal February flips the script. You move from reacting to actually choosing, and that's empowering. Number two is it gives you clarification around your values. When you stop spending mindlessly, you quickly learn what you truly miss and what you actually don't. So many times I've done Frugal February, I've realized there were a lot of things I just didn't miss and was actually wasting a lot of money on it. I was able to then cut that from my budget with the savings flowing on year after year. Number three is it builds confidence, cash flow confidence. There's something really incredibly empowering about watching your savings grow day by day, knowing that you have actually created that outcome purely on your own through exercising self-control and discipline. And that feels really sexy. Number 4 is it resets habits, and not just for February. This isn't about 28 days of sacrifice. It's actually about learning new skills or refining existing skills or picking up old tools and skills that you haven't used for a while that you can then use for the rest of the year, especially when money feels really tight again. And most importantly, this challenge is not about how much you save, it's about how intentional you become and what you actually learn about yourself along the next 28 days. So how do we do Frugal February? This is like the practical side, particularly if you've never done this before. Okay, so step 1 is to have only one clear goal. So choose a really realistic savings goal, and please don't compare yourself to me or anyone else. It might be the goal to save $100, it might be the goal to save $250, it might be the goal to save $1,000. Now, this year for me, my goal is $400. Previously, I've had a goal to try and do $1,000, but I am very realistic as to what my life looks like right now, and I've already been using lots of frugal seals already. So I know that $1,000 for me right now is unrealistic. So I'm setting my target of $400. And what will I do with that $400? Well, yes, it is in detail in my goal. And to share with you what that goal is for $400, and that is to make sure that $400 is invested in the $1,000 project, which is worth over $365,000. So I'm excited about using that $400 to invest and to buy some more shares in the Australian stock market. So make sure whatever goal you pick and the amount gives you a great sense of excitement and purpose to this challenge. And don't make it too easy. You want it to be a stretch, but you want to be able to see yourself achieving this goal and feeling really good about it. And, ideas and inspirations to what you could do with this money. You might want to put it towards, say, credit card debt. You could use it to put towards emergency savings. You might want to do what I'm doing and go and invest that money. This could be the start of your own $1,000 project share portfolio. Or perhaps you might want to look at putting it towards your retirement plans, such as, putting it into superannuation, obviously keeping in mind that you can't get that money out of super, and there are annual caps and limits as to how much you can put in super. But there's lots of different things you can do this. Or you might even want to use this to put towards a holiday savings fund. It is completely up to you. Just have a very clear goal and direction for where that money will land. Step number 2 is to open up a dedicated savings account. You need to use a spare online savings account, ideally one with no fees that pays a high interest, and make sure you go and nickname this account, which is really important, My Frugal February Money. So you know exactly what this account is for and where to put that money. And this separation is really powerful. It helps keep money safe, but also helps keep it visible with your clear instructions, directions, and purpose. Step 3, that is to transfer the savings immediately. This is a golden rule. Please make sure of all the rules, this is the number 1 rule you must follow. So every time you save some money, in that very moment, transfer it immediately. So say, for example, I'm about to go and buy takeaway coffee for $6, but then I remind myself, oh, hang on, you're doing Frugal February. Do you really need that coffee? Are you fine with the one you had at home already? Or can you maybe just, get a tea somewhere else, or just have a glass of tap water? Once you say no, immediately pull out your phone and transfer that $6 into your Frugal February account. Or another great example is, you might reduce your grocery spend. I try and budget around $350 per week on groceries. I'm going to try and find savings there. So say I manage to get it down from $350 to say $320, I will go and transfer that $30, assuming I'm successful. Or say I go through my budget, which will be part of the exercises that we do during this month. And that is, looking at my subscriptions. Say I manage to pause a subscription or cancel one or downgrade that subscription and say I save $15, I need to make sure I transfer $15 to my Frugal February account. If you do not transfer this money in the exact moment, that money will disappear, it will evaporate, it will get spent somewhere else. So that is why this step is so important, and it helps build momentum. That's how you're going to watch your Frugal February account grow each day. Step number 4 is to look beyond daily spending. So Frugal February isn't about long-term savings. It's about renegotiating utilities. reviewing your insurances, not cancelling insurances, but just looking at where you can potentially save some money or where you even might need to actually change insurance policies and shop around. It's about downgrading or even cancelling some subscriptions that you don't really use or don't value or have like duplications. And it's about shopping around for a better deal, getting on the phone and asking what other options do you have that is better value for money, and let people know, well, if you don't help me find a better deal, I might have to look at walking elsewhere. So, even just saving $20 per month going forward, that's still a massive win because this money really does add up. All right, next I want to talk about this really important factor that comes into Frugal February, and it's actually one of the biggest challenges for me personally with this challenge, and that's all around mental health, because mental health does matter. The Frugal February challenge should really support your mental health, not damage it. You are allowed to say yes to things that really do matter in your life and add value. You are allowed to modify the challenge to suit your life. You are allowed to be flexible if something unexpected comes up. For example, one of my best friends, it's always her birthday, smack bang in the middle of Frugal February, and I like to see her. I like to buy her a bunch of flowers. I like to take her out to lunch or dinner and have a glass of champagne with her. So that's important to me. And that stays in Frugal February. I still honor that. I don't not see her or not celebrate our friendship, our long-term friendship, because of Frugal February. It's still there, because she fills my cup and likewise. So this is not about perfection. It's about awareness and pride and really connecting with the things that we really do value so that they can stay firmly in our lives and, of course, firmly in our budgets. So please remember, being frugal does not mean being deprived. It means being intentional, beautifully intentional. All right, let's now talk about, going beyond the dollars, and that is the emotional payoff. Something really powerful happens during this challenge, Frugal February, and words can't really describe it unless you do it yourself and you do it properly. And those of you who have done it with me year after year will know exactly what I'm talking about, and you are those people that are DMing me on Instagram saying, hey, are we doing Frugal February again this year? So when you do Frugal February, this powerful shift happens deep within. You start to realize you don't really need as much as you thought you needed. You realize that you are actually way more capable than you realized. You realize that you can actually tighten your belt without panic or feeling deprived. And this really does help build a really strong foundation of financial resilience. And that resilience then goes on to give you options. Powerful options like investing or starting something new, like a new side hustle or a new business. Gives you the power and option to be able to handle emergencies calmly, especially emergencies that cost money to solve. And of course, to say yes to opportunities with confidence. You're building your emergency money. It's opportunity money. It's growth money. It's all starts with a sense of financial control, which can all be birthed out of Frugal February. I also want to talk about the power of the community and the sense of pride that comes from Frugal February, particularly as you get towards the end. This challenge works even better and is actually so much easier when it is shared. I recommend if you're going to do Frugal February with me, we tell our friends, we tell our family members, and we invite our partners, we invite our family members, we invite our work colleagues, even our neighbors, whoever you like, to do it with you. Let people know you're doing Frugal February. Own it. Be proud. And if someone questions it, stand tall. Let them know you are doing some deep financial work and you are building financial skills that are going to serve you for the rest of the year and make your life actually a lot easier, and that you are choosing to be intentional over impulse. There is something really powerful that happens during Frugal February, particularly amongst my social circles, because my friends will have a bit of a laugh with me about this, but then they'll also do it with me as well. And they'll also tell me how proud they are and how much they love seeing on socials all the little different things that I do and how they have gone out and done some of those things or all of those things themselves, and they're proud to share with me the savings that they found. So yes, I will be sharing daily tips and encourage everybody on my Instagram account at SugarMamaTV, and I'll be doing it through Reels, posts, and of course Instagram stories. So please make sure you are following me here so that you do not miss out on anything, but more importantly, You never feel like you're doing this alone because it really is a very powerful community that comes together for Frugal February, and I'm proud that it's 10 years old. All right, so now you know all about what Frugal February is about. You know it's not about restriction, it's about freedom. Freedom from stress, freedom from being on autopilot and shopping mindlessly, freedom to make confident choices with your money. And if you ever feel like you're being stretched in multiple directions and you're feeling exhausted, shattered, or even just disconnected from your finances, and there's a little bit within me at the moment, especially after school holidays and not having enough time to be able to sit and focus and concentrate, I really am excited about this financial reset and doing it with you. So, in summary, make sure you go and set your goal, your financial goal, and the direction where you want these savings to land in your financial life that are going to benefit you and uplift you. Make sure you have that account open, ready for your Frugal February money, and start transferring. Start saving, start saying no, start being aware as to where there are financial leaks in your budget. And be proud of every single dollar that you consciously choose to transfer into this account. I cannot wait to hear from you as to how much money you have saved and where that money is going, what you're going to do with it, and how it's going to benefit your life both immediately and well into the long run. There's some exciting things to come for all of us from doing this challenge together, and it's just 28 days being a short month. So thank you to everyone who has been a part of this incredible community for the last 9 years, and welcome to everyone who's doing this with me for the first time or the third time. It really is exciting, and I promise to not get grumpy and bitter like I have previously in the past. As always, please keep that financial fire burning bright. Make sure you're following me on Instagram at SugarMamaTV. And of course, send me any questions that you may have about Frugal February. Let the fun, let the savings, let the incitement begin. This is Sugar Mama's Fireplay.